Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Investor's Edge. Today, we are going to show you 2024 business strategies for wholesalers. This is going to be, based around building a business plan for 2024, some of the high level strategies you should be employing. And if you're not employing, you might get left in the past. So make sure you watch till the end of the video. That way you get to know exactly what you need to do in 2024 to set yourself up for success. And you have a solid plan moving forward. Rocky is an awesome guest. We had him last week. He gave us a full business breakdown of how he's doing $100,000 every month in wholesale revenue. And luckily, as I'm part of the Astro community, I was able to tap in for Rocky's business plan call. So I wanted to, bring some of that to you guys as well. So Rocky, how you doing, bro?
Good. How are you?
Dude, fantastic, bro. I'm really, really grateful.
I love hearing that. I love when people are actually grateful, because a lot of people are asking for so much and forgetting to be grateful for what they have.
Mm. You know why I'm
Yeah.
grateful?
Tell me.
I've been doing this course on Mind Valley by Ken Honda. Ken Honda is the happy money guy. And he told me on the course that I need to start thanking my money. Whenever I buy something, thank you, money. Thank you for giving me this resource. Whenever I receive money, thank you, money. Thank you for coming to me. When I send money and receive money. So I've been changing the dynamic and the energy behind it. And it's just put me in this immense state of gratitude.
I love that. That's really good, and that's very similar to what we do and what I teach my kids. Except for when I say thank you to money, we thank God for the money, because
Mm.
two things we don't play with in this household: food and money. You will never see anybody in my house tossing an apple, playing pie in the face, playing with bread, throwing away food. We don't do that, because that's grace from God. And I don't care if somebody planted and somebody picked it up and somebody sold it. It's still a grace from God, because without God, the soil and all that you have, it would probably be dry if God wanted it to be. Without the rain, without the water, you won't have all of that. So that's still grace from God. We don't play with money, because you use the money to buy that food so you can feed yourself and your family. So any time before any meal, um, we bless the meal by saying, like, in the name of God, which translates in Arabic to Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And then toward the end, we say Alhamdulillah, which is, you probably know this, which is thank you, God. That's just before we eat, but we constantly always saying Alhamdulillah for everything. My late mother um, fought cancer for 4 years. And every time I asked her how she doing, she kept saying Alhamdulillah. She kept saying thank you, God, for everything. She never complained once.
Hmm.
So being thankful for that is really, really, really good. It's not only it's gonna make you grateful and have a lot of gratitude, it's gonna clean over here. This, because a lot of people can fake a lot of things, but they can't fake this.
Hmm. It's like an energy, a state of gratitude puts you in a receivership state.
Correct.
I like that. How do you plan on applying gratitude in 20? Well, obviously, you're applying it already, but like for the audience, like how can, gratitude play a role in their business in 2024?
Balance. Balance. What do I mean by that? Let me grab two things over here. This analogy works with everybody, even the dummy understands it. Okay, right here. So I'm gonna grab these two. This business, this family. Okay, when you're over here, you should give this 120%. When you're here, you should give this 120%. How do you do that? When you're working business, never ever think family. Never ever say, Oh, I'm not with family. I feel bad. I need to spend time with my spouse. I need to spend time with my girlfriend. I need to spend time with my kids. I need to spend time with my family. I need to spend time with my parents, with my siblings, with my cousins, with my friends. Blah 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 blah. What's gonna happen to your performance at work? It's not 100%, let alone 120%. And then only then you'll be like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna hang out with family. Now you're over here, right? What are you thinking here? This.
Mm.
Fuck, man, I didn't do good. I didn't do well. I didn't do this. I didn't do that at work. I needed to send this email. I needed to analyze this property. I needed to open a new business plan. I need to write this. I need to do this. Now, are you 120% with family? No.
No,
Are
you're
you
like half
100%?
present.
No. You're half-assing it because you're thinking this. You're thinking work, 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 work. So when you're working, you're 100% working. Then you push yourself to do 120%. And then when you're with family, you apply gratitude, you apply love, you apply everything, you apply being grateful that you get to see them. When you
Mm.
start applying, these is only two things out of your day. When you start doing this, gratitude will happen automatically.
You receive more when you're grateful.
100% you receive more.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's one that a lot of people struggle with, is that balance. They're at work, they're thinking of their family, they're with their family, they're thinking that, they didn't get enough work done, really putting their full focus into each. I think the most important aspect of business is really like the spiritual and like the mental aspect of it. There's of course the analytical stuff, right? Analytical stuff, you can find that anywhere on the internet, but really like what are some of the most foundational mindset things and spirituality things when it comes to living an abundant life, running a good business, and just being rich in life in all aspects, health, wealth, family, financial.
It's self-sabotaging. You're A lot of people do in fact live in the past. Do in fact live and think about the past a lot. I think I told you about the analogy, which a lot of people know about. The rear view mirror is a lot smaller than the windshield because you're not supposed to be living. You're not supposed to be looking back a lot because it's so small. But then you have the windshield. It's so big to look ahead. But the wise people, they think about inside the car, which is bigger than the windshield. You see where I'm coming from? So a lot of people talk about the rear view mirror because it's so small. It's like, hey, don't be looking at it. It's for a reason. It's so small because you're not supposed to be looking back, otherwise you'll crush. Correct. They also talk about the windshield being bigger because you're supposed to look what's ahead of you. But I'll tell you today, look inside your car.
So it's like, just to make sure I understand it correctly. So we have like past is like rear view mirror, right? So people are like reminiscing on their past, the things that they've done, and they base themselves off the things that they've done. Then there's people, looking into the future and being like, I could do this, this could come. But then there's inside your car, and is inside your car being present in the moment.
100% being present in the moment. Being present in the moment with your family, being present in the moment with yourself. Because the conversation you have with yourself when you're alone are the most powerful conversations you'll ever have.
The conversations you have with yourself when you're alone are the most powerful conversations you'll have.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
You know why?
Why?
Because I could sit over here and tell you I make 150 thousand a month, or I could tell you I make 100,000 a week. I could be faking it. I could be over exaggerating. I could be sugarcoating it. But then when I sit alone and I talk to myself, I'm the realist, right?
Mm.
And that's how you should be when you're talking to others. But if you're not having this conversation with yourself, it's hard for you to come on a platform like this and be real.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that's a big trait of humans is, you know, we bullshit ourselves a lot. And I think when we stop bullshitting ourselves, that's where we start to see results.
Right, because when you bullshit yourself, you sell yourself short.
Could you dive into that a little bit more?
Yeah. You ask me anything you want. What do you want me to dive in? Anything you want.
Okay, I really want to dive into the communication with oneself. Um, because like for example, a year ago I would bullshit myself a lot in order to save my own pride from myself. Right? Like a year ago, I didn't have the audience or the eyes on me that I have now, but I would still like make excuses to myself in order to save my own pride from myself. It's pretty ridiculous. Why do you think that humans do that? Like it seems like a mental lapse in judgment.
It's going back to living in the past. You get used to one version of you and you think that's what you're worth. You think that's what you deserve. You think that's who you are. Coming to your point being a mental. A lot of people refer back to how they were and they say that's who I am. That's how I'm supposed to be. That's remember a few weeks ago we made a call for everybody listening that you should really go watch that about an internal thermostat.
Yes.
You you start going to the gym and you start changing, people start noticing, and a year later you're back to how you were. Because yes, they went ahead and started working, but they never changed that thermostat. They never change who they are. They never let go of the old version of themselves. So they always crawl back to be that person again. To get
Hmm.
rid of that, to get rid of that, you must surround yourself with, on the topic of thermostat, let's just say your thermostat is at 60 and you want to be at 120. You can't just be at 120 and then boom, that's it. Because you always crawl back to 60 because you never change it because it's always going to cool you off. But then if you're having conversations and if you have lunch, dinner with people that constantly operate at 120, your thermostat will change because that becomes your identity. You are that the old saying that you are who you're surrounded by, or show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, or show me your last 5 ticks and I'll tell you who your friends are. That is true. That is true. You surround with I this year we surrounded ourselves with really really higher ups. People who are doing it. People who are not BSing anything. They're just doing it and they want you to do well. People are having different conversations, different talks. We started operating at that level. Not we're not copying anybody. It just our thermostat just got cranked up, and we never looked back that I want to pick up the phone and be a salesperson again. We never looked at that. We'd be like, all right, how can I hire somebody to do that? What kind of training I need for that person? Stuff
Mhm.
like this are included in the daily conversation you have with yourself because you shouldn't only set your 10, 5, and 1 year goal just because it's a new year and a lot of people go by new year new resolution, which is cool. I'm fine with that, but don't just set a yearly goal. Set a quarterly goal, a monthly goal, weekly, and more importantly, daily goals. Those are the ones that matter the most. Not your 1 year goal, because to get to 1 year goal, you have to do today's goal. You have to complete today's task.
Hmm. Wow. Before we get into like the analytical aspect of it and like the creating a business plan aspect, I just wanted to recognize something that I drew from what you were talking about there. I started with the question of like, why do people bullshit themselves? Like, why do people lie to themselves to save their own pride? And what I understood from your response is that they have a previous identity of not being worthy or whatever. So when they bullshit to themselves, it's almost like a form of self-sabotage. They're not solving the problem, they're self-sabotaging because they're attached to that previous identity. So
no, that's the word. They're attached to that identity. Yep.
So like, yeah, we can build a business plan and it can be a really elaborate business plan, but if the viewers that are watching that engage with this build a business plan, but they're still attached to that previous identity, that business plan doesn't really mean much, does it?
It doesn't. No, it has everything that goes in your life has a lot to do with you. So yeah, I could sit over here and I'll tell you five to seven things that you should have to set goals. Then you're gonna get fired up. Tomorrow you're fired up. Next week, probably fired up. Next month, now what?
So
Yeah, it's like those people that listen to motivational speeches. I never take anything to heart, but then they take to heart, but then they don't do anything with it. It dies. It dies within. But we're not here to kill you. We're here to help you. We're not here to cheer you up. That's your job. Your job is to cheer yourself up every single day. We're here to help you understand just few points as to what your goals should look like, what your business plan should look like. Even if you don't have a business, like let's just talk about goals for a little bit, right? Let's talk about goals and say like, how can you, as an individual who doesn't have a business, but you just want to do better in life, how can you do that? There's so many things you could do. I could give you the list of 100 things to do, but I'm gonna bore you. If you're here to listen to 100 things, probably by number 25, 26, you're probably bored and I'm gonna lose you. And I don't want to do that. I want you to do well. I want you to do better for yourself. That's why Nathan and I dedicated time of our lives to just to share it back. Because setting like I can say setting goals should really outline like a very 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 effective approach to your goal settings. You could use smart system like AI, ChatGPT, and stuff like this to help you out. There's just so many things, right? But the most important points, which I'll give you probably 7. I think that's all you need when it comes back to setting goals. And let's just say for your 2024 is, again, it's got to be specific. So number 1, specific. Your goal should be clear and precise. And instead of aiming for low weights, specify a targeted weight. See where I'm coming from? Like instead of like I'm gonna be lifting heavy, specify I'm gonna lift 140 pounds.
Yeah, like how do you know you're lifting heavy if you're not specific?
Yeah, exactly. Be specific with your goals. Be clear with your goals. Forget everybody else, right? Second, which I talk about a lot about this, is measurable. Make sure you're able to measure your goals. Like make sure you've got to track your progress, right? You've got to be able to track your progress, meaning you've got to be able to say, you know what, this is my goal, and this is what I need to do to get to goal, and that's your KPIs. You should be able to track your KPIs to see if you're actually headed toward that measurable goals, and then so, for example, I wanna I wanna write a book, right? Versus I'm going to write a book, or I set a goal to write a book that has 60,000 words. Now I just measured it, right? But is it measurable? Am I able to do this? So like, you don't come over here and you're brand new, tell me that I am going to make 100,000 next week. I mean, if you're in California, maybe. I like it's doable, but is that measurable? Absolutely not. If you're brand new, you need to understand system, you need to understand contracts, you need to understand so many other things. So just be real with yourself and just make sure your goals are measurable. Number three, I shall say, would be actionable. But Nathan, why you and I talked about this, right? Goals should be really, you should really frame your goals as actions. You know, uh, start them with, I don't know, start them with a verb like, oh, speaking of books, I will write 20 books. I will write 10 books. I will write one book, right? That's actionable goals, right? Make sure they framed as actions. Um, for
So just to make sure I got this written down correctly. So we have specific, like I need to know exactly how much. Maybe you're going to the gym, you're trying to bench a certain weight. Exactly what weight do you plan to bench? Not I plan to, bench heavy. Measurable being like, how do you track your progress towards that goal? So if we use the gym analogy, my goal is to bench 3 plates. Well, I can track it by like, okay, well now I'm at 1 plate. Now I'm at 2 plates. Now I'm at 3 plates. Actionable. What are like my specific action steps towards this? Well, that could be like, I commit to go to the gym 3 times a week or 4 times a week or whatever we decide. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, because without the action framed, um, you won't be able to get that 3 plates. Now
Yeah.
you had the measure of your goal, but you need the actionable steps to get there.
Okay.
Four is, I shall say, related or relevant.
Like realistic.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure they fit your current situation. Again, back to 100,000 next week. Does that fit your current situation? If it does, hey, go for it, right? Because some people maybe take small loan of $1 million from their father, you
Mhm.
know. And now, if you have $1 million, you can go buy multiple businesses or real estate houses and wholesale them in the same week, or flip them and sell them within 2 weeks. Now, did you make 100,000 in a month? Yes, because your current situation allows you to do this. But if you got $1 million, you're not here to set setting. I promise you that. You're probably way past that. You probably daddy taught you a lot. But here's the thing: make sure they fit your current situation. They should stretch you, but still be achievable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to me, that sounds like realistic, right? Like where like, it is gonna be difficult, but it's not like I plan on being on the moon next week.
But you can plan to be on the moon by end of next year. Then you have a whole year to work towards that.
Mhm.
Money, ships, whatever, right? You're gonna like number. You're gonna like the next point.
Tell me.
Time bound, bro. Time, time,
Now.
time, time. Assign a deadline. I can't stress this enough. Put a deadline to each goal, just so that you can create a sense of urgency and a clear timeline for your own competition with yourself. Remember, we're gonna be better than yesterday, right? You wanna lift 3 plates. You wanna bench press 3 plates. When do you want to do that?
Mm.
time frame. Time.
And what if we don't know exactly how long it's going to take? What about those people that are going to say, I don't know how long this is going to take?
Because you're unsure of your capabilities of doing it. I mean,
I see a lot of people that, like, you know, they're just getting started. They've never, like, for most of my audience, it's wholesalers. They've never wholesaled a deal before, and, you know, asking them to put a timeline on it, it's kind of like
what's
they
number
have
two?
to engage.
What's number two?
Measurable. I
The
think
answer is
I think this would tie into, like, measurable as well, is like, you know, if they've never interesting. I want to play with this example a little bit. So let's say somebody new starting out, specific, right? Get their first deal. Measurable. Well, how do they measure it if they've never done their first deal? I think we would have to kind of like work on the actionable to be able to measure it, right? Like maybe they go to like Rocky or something and say, Rocky, you know, what are my specific action steps necessary to complete one deal? And then they kind of use it as like a progress bar. Like maybe, Rocky, how many offers you have to make for one to get closed?
us, like right now, or it's getting started?
Or let's say somebody's starting out. How many offers do you think they're gonna have to make for one to get closed?
Probably 30.
30. Okay, so measurable could be how many offers have I made, right? And time bound.
Yeah,
Guess you,
measurable is not tracking. It's the opposite. So I think that's where the misunderstanding. Remember, we started with specific. The goal is to close a deal. Measurable is how do you get there, not what you do, right? So if I need to make 30 offers to get a deal, now I have to make, for example, how many steps you need to take, the actionable steps. You need to make 50 conversation a day, 200 calls to get 50 conversation to get one offer out one day. You have a month. You see how it's all tied up? So we start with the goal. The specific goal was what? To close a deal, right? We measured it. How do we measure it? It's 30 offer a day. How do you do 30 offer a day? Actionable steps. What's that look like? 200 call, one offer out after 50 conversation. Then comes what? Your timeline. My timeline is 1 month. If I do this every day, sending one offer, 30 offers, boom. I reach my deadline because I set a deadline for myself. That's 30 days.
So we're working from the goal backwards, right?
Yes, always when it comes down to setting goals, always. Always.
Why?
Because
Okay, go ahead.
because you're gonna ask why you do that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you start from the bottom, how do you know what's your end goal? How do you gonna build up? You want to build up, or you want to break what's already in there into steps, and now you have a foundation. You have another layer. You have a supervision. You have general manager layers. You have the boss. That's how it is. The end goal, the measurements, the actionable steps, the relevant as to you know, does it fit your current situation? How does it fit your current situation? Then you get a timestamp on it. That's your timeline, and then you get to number 5, which is the evaluate. Right? You've got to evaluate. You've got to regularly assess your progress. Like this could be hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, or even every single minute, whatever you're doing. Right? You've got to evaluate what you're doing so you can meet that time bound. Because if you say, yeah, I have 30 days to do this, but then you just fooling around all day, and then when it comes on the end of the day and you evaluate, you'll be like, whoa, I didn't do nothing. Right? You see how it all ties up, but you got to start from the top. You got to start. You have to know what's your specific goal. If your specific goal is a 6-pack, You've got to measure it. How do you measure it? What you got to, okay, so remember we talked about writing a book. It'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have to do 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes abs per day for 3 days, rest one day, do another three, rest one day, do another three, right? And then that's your actionable steps. So you measured it, and then now your actionable steps is like, okay, every morning, in regard to whatever, if I have to work at 7 in the morning, I'm up at 5:30. I do my abs, I shower, I get my coffee, I go to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you make it relate. How is it related to my life? If you have incision, does it fit your current situation to do abs? No, right? Now what's that you could do to replace you out there in the floor doing planks because you get incision? Anything. Could be walking. I'm not a huge of supplements, so I'm not gonna advise you to take any supplements. Eat a lot of fish, eat a lot of green. This stuff are good for you. Just got don't eat a lot of fat in your tummy. Don't drink beer. Don't eat pizza at night and go to sleep. You see how I did? I'm not working out, but I still got my abs. I still got my body because I'm not doing this nonsense stuff. Then I got a timeline. Like I want to reach my 6 abs in summer, so that way I can go to the beach and show it off. Whatever the goal might be, and that's not bad. If that's what you want, that's cool. And then evaluate. What are you doing every week? Are you just doing? You're waking up, you're doing abs one day, and then you skip 2 days. Evaluate your actionable steps, right? And then at the end comes the reward, right? Assign. I love assigning rewards, right? Because when I was in aviation school, to become an aviation engineer, we had 17 blocks. Every block is 5 weeks. Every 5 weeks, you have 2 tests and a final exam. Every time I needed something, right? Every time I needed a pair of pants, I needed a sweater, I needed a new set of pants. I'd be like, okay, for me to get these nice blue, because I like to write like different points in different colors, like blue and then black and red, for example. It's okay. My pants are almost running out. I need a new set. I will not get it until I score a B plus minimum in my test. I need a new pair of pants. I will not get the new pair of pants until I pass this block to get to the next block, but I gotta pass this block with either honorary roll or an A plus or just A. And if I don't get that reward. Next block, gotta work again. And I set rewards to everything. These 7 points, if you apply these 7 points, you will never have to come back to this call ever again.
Mm-hmm.
It's really simple. But I mean, we would love for you to come back because we always add in new things.
Yeah, please come back.
Yeah, go ahead. No. I was just gonna say, just come here, hang out with us, and apply what you learn, and just make sure you implement it.
Mm-hmm. I want to just go over that one more time, just for anybody that might have came in late, because live streams are a revolving door of people. We might have the same viewer count, but it's constantly changing the people that are coming in. So we have specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, time bound.
Relevant or related.
Relevant.
So it's your current situation.
Okay, so let me change that. Relevant. Relevant. Specific being, I want to bench 3 plates. Measurable being, how many plates can I bench right now? Actionable being, exactly what there's my goal, which is bench 3 plates. And then there's actionable of like, what do I need to do? Like, let's break it down. Like in a month, I need to be doing this. Every week I need to be doing this. Every day I need to be doing this. Relevant. Is it relevant? Is it applicable to my life? Well, yes, because I want to be in peak condition. Time bound. When do I want it by? So set a deadline for it. I think that's pretty solid. If we do that, like, we can't go wrong. Rocky, do you remember the AI vision board call that we had? And I think this was on that call. We were talking about goals and we were asking people what their goals were. And a lot of people were just saying, like, I want to be rich. I want, money. I want this or that. And they're so incredibly broad, and how would they ever know when they achieved it? I want to actually, like, kind of play a little bit of or not really play a game, but interact with the audience a bit here. I want to know what your guys' goals are. And then I think that, we should, like, break them down and really, like, ask you the necessary questions to make sure that they're specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, time bound. So
I
for
like
everybody
that.
yeah, it's going to be solid. For everybody that's watching, put your goal in the side chat. Put your goal in the side chat. We're here to help you break it down and make sure that you have a clear objective. Make sure that it's specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time bound.
Yeah, drop your goals in the chat, guys. Let's see what you got. It's important that you got us here, and the year is almost here. So it's if I were to tell you anything, it's really important that you drop your goals, because you got us here and we'll be able to help you out breaking down.
Bro, imagine, for the audience, imagine you guys don't put your goal in the side chat. And you just kind of half-ass this live stream. Don't put your goal in the live in the chat, and don't get it broken down. And then 6 months into 2024, you're lost. You don't know what you're working towards. You have no way to measure if you've done anything right or wrong. You'd feel a little bit silly. So I would say get that clarity before you go into 2024. Make sure you have your clear, specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound goal. That way you don't find yourself halfway through the year feeling lost and accomplishing nothing.
Exactly. I strongly agree. And I don't want to see halfway through 2024, next year is going to be my year. I see this a lot. When it's always the right time? Right now. Right now is always the right time. The second you wait, you've already lost. You lost yourself, you lost your identity, and you lost your time.
When's the best year to set a New Year's goal? Or when's the best time to start your New Year's goal? Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. And then when it's the perfect time to get started with everything? Right now.
Absolutely.
Hey, look at that. Get my first in. I love this. Now, I would love to interact with him. Like, if you're listening, Sir Jeffrey, so just tell us how many calls you're making a day, how many conversations you're having. Are you sending offers or not? How many days a week you're doing it? How many hours you're putting on the business or in the business for now if you're just getting started? These things are good to get your first deal. I believe he said he was doing agent outreach last week, if I'm not mistaken. I would say double down on what you're doing, meaning continue following up, continue reaching new people. Talk more about it on your social media. Inform your friends and family that if you have not done so, I want you, Jeffrey, to go on either today, if you're working or whatever, tomorrow. I want you to shoot a small video, 30-second. It goes like this. Hey, friends and family, it's Rocky. Just want to let you know that I have started my real estate journey. My business currently focuses on fixing and flipping properties in the Atlanta market. I would love your help in finding properties for me. and I will definitely take care of you as a finder fee. I'll send you a finder fee, and we can do business together. I just want to come by here and let you know that I have started my real estate journey. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Shoot that video. I don't care if you have to shoot it 20 times to get it perfect. I promise you, you may think like, oh yeah, it's easy for me to speak. I swear to God, Jeffrey, I shot that video so many times. My video is kind of like, hey guys, it's Rocky Zidane. Um, hey guys, Rocky Zidane. I'm an investor in the Atlanta market. My company primarily focuses on buying and selling real estate. If you have anything, blah blah blah, something like this. I shot that video 3 years ago, and I promise you, I shot that video like 5, 6, or even 7 times until I got one that I like without like, none of that, right? So even if you're camera shy, go for it. Put yourself out there. And the reason why I tell you this is because a lot of people don't put themselves out there because they're afraid of committing, because they think of that they're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. You're gonna suck. You're gonna embarrass yourself. You're going to do that, Jeffrey. I'm not gonna come. I'm not the guy that sugarcoats anything. I'm not the guy that's gonna come here and tell you that, oh yeah, you're gonna do great. Don't worry about it. No BS. You're gonna fail. You're gonna suck, and you're gonna embarrass yourself, and that's cool, because that's what's gonna make you who you are. But how are you gonna overcome that? Back to having a conversation with yourself. Don't sit in the chair and look at the wall. Look at the damn mirror and talk to yourself. That's how you're gonna overcome these conversations and these obstacles. But I want you to put yourself out there, because I promise you, a lot of my deals come from my social media, from friends and family that know who. Bro, I just not too long ago resigned from my job. A supervisor at my W-2 brought me a lead. I wholesaled it with 18K. A supervisor at my W-2 brought me a lead. Say, hey, I know a guy that's selling a house. I went to the house, took pictures, sent it straight to my to one of my investor friends at that time. 10K immediately, like this. I promise you, I probably worked on that deal for like 3 hours max, because I had to go to the property, take pictures. Just
Look at
because
this.
how did that supervisor know? I talked about it on my social media.
Dude, I think Jeffrey is not the only one that experiences this problem. I had another person. He came to me, and he wanted to do something similar to what I was doing with the live streams. And I told him, go ahead and do the live streams and start like posting himself publicly that he's doing real estate. And he had a very similar problem to what Jeffrey has. Jeffrey says, I have done this kind of thing, and the response I have gotten from friends and family has either been crickets or flat out telling me they view me as a failure and will not hear me on what I am doing because they already view me as a failure. Bro, do you want to know here how I cured my crabs?
Talk to us.
Okay, so crabs. And no, not those kind of crabs. Don't think that. I cured my crabs by, and this is an analogy. When you throw a trap down into the ocean and you put a little bait into it, you can get a bunch of crabs to crawl into that trap. And let's say like 5 crabs go into that trap. They're eating the bait. They're having a good time. And then they run out of bait. They're still in that trap. More crabs are coming in that trap. 6 crabs, 7 crabs, 8 crabs, 9 crabs. Now it's like a crab party in that trap. I don't even know why they're there anymore. But if one of those crabs all of a sudden realizes, oh, there's no more food in the trap, and they go to climb out of that trap, the other crabs will pull that crab down back into the trap. And if that crab continues to try to climb out of that trap, the crabs will go to the extent of breaking those crabs' leg so that he can't climb out of the trap. And they don't even have a good reason to be in that trap. Now, there's people that are trapped in poverty and a disempowering mindset. And in a sense, they try to break people's legs metaphorically to keep you in that trap. They'll beat you down. And it's really tough because it happens with family too. And trust me, bro, like my family, even, I have this issue. Sometimes it hurts people's feelings when other people do well because it makes them realize that they're not doing enough. So when you go and you put yourself out there and you show that you're on a mission and you're not going to give up, you're going to see it through to completion, that makes them look bad because they're not doing what they're fully capable of doing. And by you succeeding, they identify that as them looking bad. So yes, you might get some criticism, you might get some ridicule, but who cares, bro? Push forward. Your vibe will attract your tribe. You will have people gravitate to you that want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. You make that post. If that post comes across me on social media, I'm liking, I'm commenting, I'm showing love and support. And eventually your haters, they'll be too busy with dumb stuff. So post it, bro. Like push through that. And really the only way to cure your crabs is just by not caring. Like just don't care.
Exactly.
Just move forward.
100%. Move forward. But the most important thing is this: friends and family. When I got started and I informed everybody, I didn't get a lot of, like, they didn't really view me as a failure because I was an aviation engineer, and what they said was like, why are you doing this? Right? You're an aviation engineer, you make six figure, blah 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 blah, right? Because they don't believe it. You know why, Jeffrey? Because they don't have your vision. That's why God gave you your vision. He didn't give them your vision. They can't
Mm.
see. They can't see what you see, dude. They can't see your vision. It's your vision and it's for you to see. Now, I promise you, look, you're not gonna get support from these people. You may get, the reason why I said that is because you will come, somebody's gonna come across a house and be like, you know what, that Jeffrey guy was posting about real estate. Let me reach out to him. So what's gonna happen is you're not gonna get any support right now because they don't believe in it. Because that's not their vision. You know when they're gonna come by? When that deal closed. Because
Mm.
now it's real. Now it's proven. But I promise you, here's the thing. I was 155, 156 pounds. That's how much I weighed at that time. I was playing soccer. And at that time I was like probably like 5'6" maybe, or something like this. Dude, I'm not that tall, just so you know. I have really high energy. A lot of people say, well, I think you're a lot taller. I'm 5'7", but check this out. I played with a guy probably like as tall as Nathan. Nathan, you were what,
6'2".
6'2", probably as tall as him, and he was talking smack. There's no way I could beat him. You're a failure. I'm gonna tackle you. I'm gonna give you a shoulder. I'm gonna throw you to the fence. He was literally mad talking crap to me, right? I didn't say anything. Bro, I scored a bicycle kick on that guy. If you don't know what a bicycle kick is, it's like when you jump in the air and you just kick with your feet. He didn't say a word to me the whole game. And then after the game, he came and shook my hand.
Mm.
I proved him wrong. But the thing is, I didn't get hung up on proving him wrong. I didn't score a bicycle kick and then I went to his face like, I told you so. None of that. I just kept doing what I do and what I do best, better than anybody. Same thing. Same thing for you. Screw them, dude. Get rich. Get rich. Buy new friends. Pay for plastic surgery. Make them look just like your friends. you know, but just keep on going. Keep on going. Keep doing what you're doing. Talk to people. Put your contact out there all the time. All the
Mhm.
time. Because they're gonna come back. I promise you. Don't get too hung up on what they say.
Mhm. I really like this quote that I heard the other day, Rocky. Well, I heard it the other year, actually. It was, persistence is your insurance policy against failure. Persistence is your insurance policy against failure. So Jeffrey comes on the live streams quite often, and the one thing that I like about him is his persistence. Well, not the one thing. That's one of the many things I like about him is his persistence. No matter what, he shows up. So though he's gonna have those haters, though there is always that delay in building up momentum and starting something new, the one thing that's gonna ensure his success is his persistence.
Right.
And I think this kind of pushes us into the next one. Is Francis is asking how to be consistent.
Ooh.
I think persistence and consistency are both very similar things. This question itself, I have a bit of a blunt lack of empathy answer for it, which is just be consistent. But perhaps, you have a way to elaborate on that. Because with me, like consistency is just like be consistent. It's that simple.
Yeah, but how to be consistent is a very important question too. Like for you, I know you personally, so I know why you're consistent, right? Francis might just he's just probably getting started, right? And he has no idea how to be consistent and where you need to go. So what I need to tell you, Francis, is this: make sure you tie it to your purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you doing this? And that will help you be consistent. And how do you do that? Let's just say money, bro. So a lot of people just want money. Let's say your motive is just money, tons of money and tons of money. And it could be money. You get money to build a school, to build a shelter, build a mosque, build a church, whatever that you want to do with the money. Make sure you make that your purpose. So my purpose is to help others. My purpose is to build a hospital. What do I need to do? I need money. How do I get money? I follow the steps that we just discussed on the call, and really just wake up every single day and think of your purpose. Let your purpose drive you. It drives you so crazy that people think you're crazy, and just continue doing what you're doing. Tie it up to your purpose. Remember why you're doing what you're doing, and always remember why you started. That helps you stay consistent. I don't need motivations, dude. I think if I ever need motivation, I'd probably suck at something. I just have a purpose. My purpose drives me nuts every single day.
I guess now that I think about it as well, is to be consistent, like you're right, make it your purpose, but also you can utilize habits to be consistent. You make it habitual, and it's going to be hard to break that habit.
Habits.
Most people are consistent with brushing their teeth. Why? Well, because it's a habit. You've ingrained it in your personality.
Mm-hmm. Not honestly, not just habits. Great habits, like you were saying, Nathan. I've never met anybody that's successful that doesn't have habits. They all have habits. They all have great habits. They all follow the same habits. They all continue doing what they do, and they evaluate themselves, and then they just add more. Great habits leads to success. I promise you. I like that you mentioned habit, Nathan. That's really good.
I think there's good habits and bad habits as well, because really, this kind of ties us back to the beginning when we were talking about the thermostat and like setting our thermostat. You can set your thermostat to like negativity and bad habits, or you can set your thermostat to positivity and good habits. So be very conscientious of what you're doing with your life, because it might start off as like a one-off thing, doing a bad habit, but you gotta be tracking. You gotta be constantly like looking at yourself, like, what am I spending my time doing? Because eventually that's just going to become part of your personality. And do you really want that to be part of your personality?
Yeah, don't start something you don't finish.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, don't ever start it because that becomes your identity. You become the person that doesn't finish stuff. You start a book, you don't finish. You start this, you don't finish. You start a real estate journey and you're finished. You quit because it gets tough. Don't be that guy. Don't be that
Mm-hmm.
guy. Make sure you finish everything you start. If that's and when it gets tough, which it will for a lot of you guys, and it's still tough for us. Remember why you started, and don't just come to a point where it's tough, and then what do you do is you quit. You come all this way just to quit. Why'd you even get started? Why'd you waste your time, waste your energy? Because it got tough. Nothing gets easy. Life gets tough every single day. It's your job to get stronger. Life never gets easier. Every single day gets tougher because every day you're growing, every day you're having your responsibilities. One day you're a child, then you have responsibility of going to school. Then you're a teen, your responsibility is to finish school, then you go to college, then you meet somebody, then you get married, then you have kids, and your kids grow up. You see the patterns? It gets tough every time. Like you didn't just get married and have kids and then life is easy. Your kid's gonna grow. Your kid's gonna get sick. Your kid's gonna do such and such. Your kid's gonna go to college. Now you gotta pay for that. Yeah, you gotta make sure that they don't do bad. You gotta make sure that you go to school. It's all toughness. You gotta get strong to get there.
Mm-hmm. I posted this quote in Astro the other day that really resonated with me. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Um, and the quote went, "It gets easier. You just have to do it every day, and that's the hard part." What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, but when you 100%, it doesn't really get easier. It seems easier because
Mhm.
you're getting stronger. It never gets
Mhm.
easy because the moment you're weak, oh, it's gonna beat you down to your knees.
Mhm.
It's gonna beat you down to your knees like there's no tomorrow. This world is not. It's not. I hate using the word fair, but this world is not fair to you. This world is not. Doesn't care about you. Nobody cares about you but you. I could sit over here and tell you how much I care for you, and the life call ends. I gotta go do my own thing. I gotta go care for myself. Do well so I can take my family to the next level. It's your job. It's your responsibility to care for yourself and to get stronger.
Mhm. Hmm. I love that. So, key principles from this call to summarize them. I'll let you know what I drew from it, and if I missed anything, please fill me in. So, number one is when setting goals, you need to start off with a why. What's your purpose for this goal? Don't waste your time setting a goal if you don't actually want it. Um,
Mhm.
and then we have, when it comes to setting the goals, we have specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time bound. Those are the 5 parts of a goal. And then we spoke about consistency. Um, well, before consistency, we spoke about identity, that thermostat, the temperature of our identity, are returning the thermostat to positive, to negative, and also external factors trying to influence our internal temperature. So, like for example, when Jeffrey spoke about him posting on social media and there being haters out there, we spoke about the solution to those haters, which is really don't care because you are on your own mission. And when you get to the destination of your own mission, it's going to be well worth it. And those haters are going to realize that they're wasting their time trying to bring you down. And then we spoke about consistency. And how do we become consistent? We become consistent through developing positive habits, but we only really develop positive habits through having a purpose and a reason behind developing them in the first place. Was there anything that I missed?
No, you didn't. Just a reward. Make sure you set rewards for your goals. Like if you have a monthly goal, make sure you said, okay, I need a new iPhone case. If you have an Android, I'm sorry. But if you have an iPhone, you say you need an iPhone case. Okay, you need to set a goal, and you reach that goal for you to get that iPhone case. If you have an Android, your goal should be getting an iPhone. Beside that, um, for Jeffrey, brother, look, your circle, your current circle, is not the one that's gonna make you. So yes, indeed, keep posting, keep telling people who you are, what you do. But now it's your job to find a new circle, a circle that have the same mission as you, they're on the same journey as you, like-minded people, people who want to succeed, people who just don't want to go to a regular job and just drive your car, do the same regular stuff, and come back, and all pissed off because they hate this guy at work. They can't do nothing because now they're afraid of getting fired and stuff like this. Surround yourself with people like this. If wherever you are in the country, make sure your circle is so wide, but it's made out of the same people, because these the people are gonna make you. Second, wherever you are in the country, Google real estate events and go to all of these. If you're shy or whatever, don't say anything. Get out there, get a feel of it. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Introduce yourself. Hey, it's Jeffrey. I'm just getting started with real estate. We focus primarily on fixing and flipping real estate, right? Or just if you just want to say, hey, it's Jeffrey. I'm a local investor out here. Primarily, we fix on buying and selling real estate. That way, you're not lying, saying you're fix and flip. If you don't fix and flip, you just wholesale. You're pretty much buying the contract and selling the contract. You're not selling the house. But also, wholesaling consists of what? Double close, which means you buy the house and you sell it. So now you're not really lying, so you're not have to do all of that. If you're talking to lenders, you're talking to cash buyers, same thing. You tell them this, like, hey, just getting started. I'm a wholesaler. I would love to help you out with anything you need. How can I help? Don't ask him, what's your criteria? What's your criteria? I heard that all the time. And every day I just want to put somebody in chokehold. When you come up to Nathan, and Nathan's a flipper, Nathan, how can I help you? I know he's a flipper. I know he's got a buy box. He's gonna tell me, well, I need help with is I need a 3-2 1,800 square foot on half acre lot with a fence. Gotcha. I just got his buy box without me looking at him as a customer. And so on. You talk to real estate agents. Hey, yeah, my name is Jeffrey. I'm a local investor here. We focus on buying and selling real estate. What we look for is distressed properties or distressed situations. Boom, pop, pop, pop. You're not lying. You might end up actually buying the house. You probably wholesale it, whatever you want to do. Airbnb it doesn't matter. So get out there, Jeffrey. Meet new people. Leave your old version with those closed-minded people, and just do well for yourself and let them watch, because they're going to be watching. I promise you.
You got a lot of love, Rocky. You got
a
lot of people love you, bro.
And guys, I love everybody equally.
Let's blow up the side chat. Let's put a bunch of heart emojis in here for Rocky. Thank you so much, Rocky, for coming on and doing this. Really, really appreciate you, bro. You provide a lot of value to a lot of people.
Of course, man. Thank you for putting this platform so we can deliver value to those who need it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I have this long-term vision. There's 20,000 people in the Astro Flipping non-member group, and there's like almost 5,000 people in the member group. I have this long-term vision of literally like increasing the engagement in both groups dramatically, pairing them up. So pretty much like I want all the Astro leaders to be tapping into the non-members group, so that when those members get their first deal, they can come into the paid group.
I love that. It's also squatting up.
Yeah.
Squat up with the Astro leaders. squat up with the Astro students and go close a few deals and go join the community. We have a live call almost every single day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because at one point in time, you know, we were in that position. At one point in time, you know, we didn't have astro flipping. You know, like for example, me, at one point in time, I was too broke. I didn't have astro flipping. There was astro flipping students that reached out and helped. You know, there was sub 2 students that reached out and helped. So I want to really be that hand that reaches out to the people that aren't yet to have the capital available to invest in the astro flipping community.
I'm into that. Yep, I put my Astro payment on a credit card, and I did three different payments because I really didn't have that money then. I was just what, 2.5 years ago, probably.
Best investment you ever made, eh?
Well, I mean, not only, yeah, it sure is. I mean, the community lifts you up all the time, and there's so many people you squat up with. There's so much money in the community. There's just so much buyers, flippers, buy and holders, wholesalers, and lenders. You get everybody in that community, to be honest. But also, it takes one thing to be successful: hard work, and you got to put it in. Anybody that tells you go work smarter than harder, slap them. You know why? Because if you only work smart and when shit hits rock bottom, you don't know how to work hard. Work hard. It's a lot easier to work smarter, but you got to work hard first.
Boom. Mic drop.
Bingo.
All right, my dude. Appreciate you, bro. I'll see you in a week.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take care.